Welcome to the Women Seen and Heard podcast. Want to become a more confident presenter and conference speaker? Meet Anita Perez-Ferguson and Lois Phillips, who are the co-authors of the Women Seen and Heard Speakers Journal, and they want to share what they've learned about women's speaking styles from their professional speaking careers. In each weekly podcast, they'll select and take turns responding to one prompt taken from the speaker's journal. In the closing moment, they offer a simple single tip you can put to use right away. Enjoy.
Welcome to our listeners. I want to ask Lois a question on all of our behalf today. I want you to describe anyone, like a teacher or a boss, colleague, or a family member who was a mentor to you. You know, someone who took you under her wing and encouraged you to develop your talents. How did you benefit from their advice?
You really made me think, because the issue of mentoring is a big issue for women who want to succeed in their work, career, professional, or political life, particularly if they are working in a male-dominated workplace. Leaders or accredited experts who would be the perfect mentors have in the past been men. Recent research suggests that men are more likely to be chosen or rated as leaders, in part because they had more assertive personalities and they spoke up more. A woman who wants to succeed will need someone to encourage her to express her ideas and opinions and encourage her to speak up more. In my case, I had a speech professor named Dr. Dorothy Rambeau at Queens College who felt I had some talent as a communicator. She encouraged me to enroll in oral interpretation of literature classes, which I wouldn't have done without her guidance. But I quickly realized the beauty of language and how the human voice can communicate meaning by changing one's volume, pitch, and voice variety. Because of her, I became a better speaker, speech writer, and coach. When I write a speech for a client, I find ways to use alliteration, repetition, and rhythm to emphasize their key points, and then I train them in delivery skills. When I write my own speeches, I practice them out loud, and that's where I can hear whether my voice is lively or I'm speaking in a monotone. Gloria Steinem was certainly a role model for me and many others, with her blue aviator glasses, long hair, short skirts, and intellectual curiosity. She was a dynamic presenter, and she became a spokeswoman for the American feminist movement in the late 60s and 70s. And that was a time when women were relegated to secretarial, stewardess, hostess roles or working behind the scenes. I immediately realized that a woman speaker can present big ideas and spark a revolution. All of my professional role models use their voices well to convey their authority. Interestingly, I've noticed that women today speak in lower tones than their mothers did, likely because women are moving into formally all-male workplaces, professions, and industries and need to fit into the norm. What's surprising, then, is that young women are adopting speech mannerisms such as hoarseness, uptalk, breathiness, and the Valley Girl phenomenon. These speaking styles will undermine their authority just when they want to be taken seriously as team players and potential leaders. Ironically, younger women have the benefits of diverse role models, and that's truly liberating for them, as there's no longer a single standard for how women should look or sound when they stand up to speak out. For example, young actress Emma Watson spoke to the UN about the He for She campaign. Sheryl Sandberg of Lean In fame gave a TED Talk watched by 10.5 million people. Talk about outreach. Malala Yousafzai advocated for children's education when she accepted the Nobel Peace Prize. Actress America Ferrera challenged U.S. standards of beauty and became a voice for the marginalized. My tip is use YouTube and TED Talks and find a role model whose speaking style you emulate. Record your next presentation and ask a dynamic speaker you know to give you feedback on your delivery style. With practice, you may become a role model for others. And remember that our podcast schedule is found at Women Seen and Heard on Facebook.